It was one of those moments that made the world stop scrolling. The kind of moment that, if captured on camera, could dominate social media timelines for days, spark heated debates across the globe, and leave even the most seasoned celebrities squirming in public scrutiny. Paris Fashion Week, an event synonymous with elegance, artistry, and the unspoken rules of haute couture, had just witnessed something entirely different, something shocking. And at the center of it all was none other than Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, whose latest outfit had ignited a firestorm that no royal wardrobe advisor could have predicted. The images went viral within minutes. Meghan, poised, confident, and typically so composed, stepped onto the runway-adjacent red carpet in an ensemble that looked, at least to the relentless eye of the internet, as though it had been hastily pulled from a crumpled hotel bed sheet. Critics called it audacious, bizarre, even laughable. Fashion bloggers dissected every pleat and seam. Social media users across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok unleashed memes at a speed that made even seasoned PR teams dizzy. Crinkled bedsheet chic, one account typed, or royal fashion disaster? Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. But before the world could even digest this unexpected sartorial shock, the stakes escalated. A parody account, a digital trickster with impeccable timing, decided to recreate Meghan's ensemble using, quite literally, a wrinkled bedsheet and some makeshift draping. The photos were shared, reshared, and multiplied in a social media chain reaction that felt unstoppable. What might have been a private fashion risk was instantly transformed into public spectacle, global mockery, and, for many, a perfect storm of comedy and controversy. And then came Zendaya, Hollywood's golden girl, the queen of effortlessly blending charm, wit, and daring, stepped into the swirling maelstrom. It wasn't in a press release, not in a formal statement, and not even in a calculated social media post. It happened in a way that only Zendaya could pull off, with a subtle joke, a playful comment, a wink to the audience that said more than any words could convey. The world paused. What did she just do? Was it friendly humor, or a pointed jab at Meghan's very public moment? In the blink of an eye, Zendaya had entered the story, and the narrative shifted from a simple viral meme to a celebrity showdown that fans couldn't stop dissecting. It's easy to look at moments like these and think, it's just social media fun. It's just a meme. But if you've ever witnessed the sheer intensity of internet culture at play, you know that these moments carry weight. They shape public perception, influence personal brands, and sometimes they leave lasting scars or unexpected alliances. Meghan's position, as both a royal and a global media figure, is precarious. Every outfit, every smile, every public appearance is magnified, dissected, and judged. And now, with Zendaya's playful intervention, a viral parody, and the relentless machinery of social media, the Duchess found herself at the center of a new storm, one that mixed humor with potential humiliation. The story didn't stop there. In fact, it was only beginning. Fans of Meghan rallied online, defending her choices and calling out what they deemed unfair ridicule. Critics doubled down, dissecting the parody and comparing it to her previous fashion decisions, drawing parallels and fueling debates. Some argued that Zendaya's humor was harmless, a playful nudge, while others felt it was a strategic, deliberate dig that could alter perceptions of Meghan on a global scale. Memes multiplied, accounts grew, and what was meant to be a simple Fashion Week appearance became an emblem of celebrity culture's power and cruelty. Think about it. How often do you see a moment where elegance, internet mockery, and celebrity power collide in such a dramatic fashion? Not often. And that's why this story matters. It's not just about an outfit or a meme. It's about influence, strategy, perception, and the unpredictable ways in which public figures can become entangled in viral moments. What Meghan wore, what Zendaya joked about, and how social media reacted are all pieces of a larger puzzle about fame, image, and cultural power. Let's pause for a moment and consider the human element. Imagine being Meghan Markle, stepping onto one of the most watched fashion stages in the world, only to find that your choices are being remade into viral content, laughed at, and shared millions of times before you've even had a chance to speak. Imagine the scrutiny, the anxiety, the calculation that goes into every public moment thereafter. Now, Layer onto that the presence of Zendaya, a figure adored for her grace, humor, and influence, entering the narrative with the ability to amplify, reinterpret, or subtly mock. For Meghan, the stakes aren't just sartorial. They're personal, public, and profoundly magnified. And for Zendaya, it's a masterclass in timing, wit, and media presence. By engaging with the viral parody in a subtle, strategic way, she reminded the world why she's a force in both Hollywood and popular culture. Her intervention sparked discussion not only about Meghan's fashion choices, but also about celebrity dynamics, media influence, and the art of navigating the spotlight. In essence, Zendaya's move was more than a joke. It was a lesson in cultural resonance, delivered in real time, to an audience of millions. As the days unfolded, the story evolved. The parody account gained followers, media outlets picked up the viral recreation, and social media analysts began to dissect engagement patterns. The narrative became layered. Some saw it as harmless fun, others as a pointed critique of Meghan's fashion choices, and a few as a calculated move to challenge royal gravitas in a modern, meme-driven era. Every post, tweet, and comment added to the tension. The drama wasn't confined to Paris. It spread across continents, languages, and media platforms. But here's where it gets truly intriguing. The viral moment, Zendaya's subtle poke, and the ensuing social media storm weren't the end. Behind the scenes, sources hinted at private reactions from Meghan's team. Strategies were discussed, statements considered, and alliances within celebrity circles quietly shifted. What started as a light-hearted parody had the potential to influence relationships, reputations, and public narratives in ways few could anticipate. And that, right there, is the power of celebrity culture today. One outfit, one joke, one meme can ripple outward with unprecedented speed. It can challenge authority, spark laughter, provoke anger, and shape conversations worldwide. And in this case, it placed Meghan Markle and Zendaya, two figures with immense global influence, at the epicenter of a cultural moment that would not fade quickly. So as we step into this story, remember this. What you're about to hear isn't just a tale of fashion faux pas or celebrity jokes. It's a window into the mechanics of fame, the dynamics of public perception, and the unpredictable ways in which humor, style, and social media collide. By the end, you'll see not only the viral images, the playful jabs, and the internet reactions, but also the deeper layers of influence, strategy, and personal stakes that made this one of the most talked about moments in recent celebrity history. And the real question lingers. What will Meghan do next? Will she respond, ignore, or reclaim the narrative in a way no one anticipates? And how far will Zendaya's subtle commentary ripple through the web of celebrity influence, social media, and global media coverage? These questions set the stage for a story that is far from over, a saga where every tweet, every post, and every public glance could change the conversation entirely. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming. Paris, the city of lights, the epicenter of fashion, and the stage where elegance meets artistry, had never seen a moment quite like this. Fashion Week is a sacred ritual for designers, celebrities, and tastemakers alike. Every outfit, every accessory, every stride on the red carpet is scrutinized, photographed, and dissected. For some, it's an opportunity to shine. For others, it can be a minefield of judgment. And on this particular day, Meghan Markle found herself at the center of a storm that no one saw coming. The moment she stepped onto the red carpet, the cameras clicked and the lenses zoomed in. Meghan, always composed, always graceful, had chosen an outfit that was meant to be bold, memorable, and fashion-forward. On paper, it was supposed to be daring yet refined. In reality, as images began circulating across social media, it became the perfect storm for criticism, memes, and instant viral commentary. The ensemble, which featured sharp pleats, flowing drapery, and an unconventional silhouette, seemed to defy traditional expectations. And while some fashion purists recognized the artistry, the majority of the internet saw something else entirely: chaos. Within minutes, screenshots flooded Instagram stories, tweets piled up with snarky captions, and memes began cropping up with alarming speed. Did she just roll out of bed and onto the runway? One post read. Another, crinkled bedsheet chic. Only in Paris. The comparisons were relentless, humorous, and for many, brutally honest. Social media users dissected every angle of the outfit, every fold of the fabric, and every unexpected choice Meghan had made. The Duchess, who had often been praised for her style choices, now faced her most public fashion critique yet, and it wasn't gentle. What made this moment particularly striking wasn't just the outfit, it was the context. Meghan, despite stepping away from formal royal duties, continues to occupy a position of immense global attention. Every action, every appearance, every outfit choice is magnified. What might be a minor faux pas for a typical celebrity can become international news for her. And Paris Fashion Week, known for celebrating audacious designs, paradoxically magnified the missteps because the public expects perfection at this level. Fashion experts immediately chimed in. Some defended her choice, citing avant-garde influence, daring creativity, and the subtle nods to high couture that only insiders might appreciate. It's an artistic statement, one fashion critic wrote, a bold risk that challenges the conventional red carpet rules. But the more dominant narrative, fueled by viral social media reactions, focused on mockery and satire. The juxtaposition between critical praise and online ridicule highlighted the modern celebrity paradox. Even bold risks are double-edged swords, open to both adoration and scorn in real time. As Meghan posed for photos, the internet began to transform her look into memes. One particularly viral post depicted her ensemble as a literal crumpled bedsheet, draped with makeshift elegance and captioned with biting humor. Within hours, the meme was everywhere, shared, reposted, and discussed across platforms in multiple languages. The viral reach was astounding. Within the first 24 hours, millions had engaged with the content, sparking debates that crossed cultural and national boundaries. But why did this outfit, of all outfits, provoke such a response? The answer lies partly in expectation and partly in perception. Meghan has long been viewed as a style icon, someone who effortlessly blends sophistication with approachability. Audiences expect her to embody elegance, not risk ridicule. And when the expectations are set this high, any deviation, especially one that appears unconventional or disheveled, becomes magnified. The public's reaction was a mixture of surprise, amusement, and, for some, harsh judgment. It's also important to understand the role of comparison. In Paris, surrounded by impeccably styled celebrities, the contrast was stark. Photographs juxtaposed Meghan's draped outfit with the sleek, tailored ensembles of other attendees. The visual comparison fueled the online reaction. Social media thrives on contrast, irony, and humor, and Meghan inadvertently provided all three. The crinkled folds, the flowing fabric, the unconventional silhouette, they became a canvas for collective interpretation, debate, and mockery. As the hours passed, the conversation evolved. Twitter threads analyzed her choices in detail, Instagram stories recreated the look with everyday items, and TikTok users staged comedic reenactments. Even mainstream media outlets picked up on the viral moment, often blending humor with reporting. Headlines ranged from neutral descriptions to outright snarky commentary. Duchess of Sussex or DIY fashion icon? One article asked, while another declared, Paris Fashion Week meets bedroom chic. Meghan Markle stuns or confuses? The spectrum of reactions was dizzying. The viral storm also sparked discussion about gendered scrutiny. While male celebrities occasionally face fashion criticism, female public figures, especially those with royal titles, are often subject to more intense and personal judgment. Meghan's appearance became a lens through which broader societal expectations about women in public life, image management, and perceived perfection were debated. Analysts noted that her role as a global icon and former royal added layers of pressure, making the response far more complex than a simple fashion critique. Beyond the humor and critique, there was a subtle tension underlying the public discourse. Fans debated whether the online reaction was fair, with some arguing that Meghan, as an influential public figure, should expect scrutiny. Others claimed that the intensity and mockery crossed a line, highlighting the often cruel nature of viral culture. The controversy exposed a fundamental truth about fame in the digital age. One misinterpreted choice, one unusual outfit, or one meme can dominate global attention, and the court of public opinion rarely offers mercy. Meanwhile, Meghan herself remained composed, at least publicly. She smiled, posed, and continued her appearances with the grace she's known for. But one could imagine the behind-the-scenes tension. Advisors, PR teams, and personal assistants likely scrambled to monitor online chatter, manage narratives, and anticipate potential fallout. Every camera angle, every social media post, and every comment was scrutinized, and the viral meme's rapid spread added urgency. The situation, initially a simple fashion choice, had escalated into a public spectacle with layers of complexity. And just when it seemed the storm might subside, another layer was added. Parody accounts, inspired by the viral images, began to recreate the outfit in increasingly humorous ways. From literal bed sheets draped on mannequins to satirical Instagram videos, the mockery took on a life of its own. Each recreation amplified the joke, expanding its reach and embedding it deeper into internet culture. Meghan's original fashion statement had become the centerpiece of an evolving digital narrative, one that was difficult to control, predict, or contain. By the end of the first day, Paris Fashion Week was no longer solely about haute couture, emerging designers, or exclusive runway shows. It had become the backdrop for a global conversation about celebrity culture, fashion risk-taking, social media dynamics, and public perception. Meghan Markle's outfit, once intended to showcase bold style and personal expression, had sparked humor, debate, and reflection across the globe. And in the midst of it all, the question lingered: how would Meghan respond? Would she embrace the humor, address the critique, or strategically reclaim the narrative? The stage was set for what would become an even larger story, one that involved a surprising ally, a subtle poke from a Hollywood superstar, and a viral moment that would dominate headlines for days. The Paris Fashion Week disaster wasn't just a fashion misstep. It was the opening act of a story about influence, image, and the unpredictable power of the internet. And as the cameras flashed and the memes multiplied, one figure in particular watched closely. Someone whose playful humor, impeccable timing, and global influence could turn this viral moment into an entirely new spectacle. But what she did next would change the conversation entirely, and no one saw it coming. It all began with a single post. A seemingly innocuous tweet, shared late at night by an anonymous parody account, had the potential to ignite a firestorm, but no one anticipated just how massive it would become. The image was simple: a wrinkled bedsheet draped across a mannequin, arranged to mimic the folds and silhouette of Meghan Markle's Paris Fashion Week ensemble. The caption was even simpler: Royal Bedroom Chic, the Duchess of Sussex, reimagined. Within minutes, the post began to spread. At first, it was shared by niche fashion meme accounts, the kind of communities that live for satirical takes on celebrity culture. But as anyone who follows social media knows, virality is unpredictable, often snowballing faster than anyone can plan for. Within an hour, major celebrity gossip pages had reposted the image. Instagram stories were tagged with hashtags like #BedsheetDuchess and #MeghanFashionFail, and Twitter was ablaze with witty commentary. What made the parody so irresistible wasn't just the humor. It was the combination of relatability, absurdity, and perfect timing. Fashion Week is a meticulously curated world where even the smallest misstep can make headlines. The internet, however, thrives on exaggeration and creative reinterpretation. By recreating Meghan's ensemble with a common household object, the parody account distilled an entire high-fashion moment into something instantly understandable, shareable, and laughable. Fans of Meghan were immediately polarized. On one side, diehard supporters rallied behind the Duchess, condemning what they saw as unnecessary ridicule. "She looks elegant," one comment read. "Stop tearing her down for a fashion risk." On the other side, critics and casual internet users celebrated the ingenuity and humor, sharing the image with captions ranging from sarcastic praise to outright mockery. The digital ecosystem, as always, transformed a single post into a multi-layered debate, complete with arguments, jokes, and emotional reactions. The parody account itself became an instant sensation. Followers who had never engaged with celebrity fashion memes were now watching in fascination as the recreation took on a life of its own. Video recreations appeared on TikTok. One user draped a bedsheet around themselves, attempting to mimic Meghan's folds and drapery, complete with exaggerated poses and dramatic camera angles. Another video featured someone attempting to recreate the look using a series of oversized towels, a silk scarf, and a coffee table for balance. Every recreation amplified the joke, embedding the parody even deeper into social media consciousness. What was particularly fascinating about this phenomenon was the speed with which it spread. In the era of digital culture, virality doesn't follow traditional media rules. One post can move from obscurity to global attention in a matter of hours. Within 24 hours, the hashtag crinkled chic was trending across multiple platforms. Memes sprouted on Reddit, Instagram, and Twitter simultaneously. Media outlets, always hungry for viral content, picked up the story, often adding their own playful commentary. Headlines like Duchess of Sussex inspires crinkled bedsheet fashion trend and royal or rolled up linen. Meghan's Paris look goes viral appeared on entertainment sites worldwide. The parody didn't just poke fun, it highlighted the delicate balance celebrities must maintain in the public eye. Meghan's ensemble, intended as a bold fashion statement, had become a cultural touchpoint. The parody account's reinterpretation served as both entertainment and critique, blurring the lines between humor, commentary, and social commentary. It exposed the double-edged sword of celebrity. Fame brings influence, but it also invites scrutiny, ridicule, and reinterpretation beyond one's control. The public reaction added layers of complexity. Some critics argued that the parody underscored the unrealistic expectations placed on Meghan. No one should expect perfection every time they step out, one columnist wrote. Yet the internet has decided that she must be flawless, or mocked mercilessly. Others viewed the situation as a humorous reflection of celebrity culture itself, a world where images are dissected, moments are meme-ified, and personal expression is subjected to global debate. Meanwhile, social media analysts noted the mechanics of the viral spread. The parody's success relied on several key factors: relatability, humor, and visual simplicity. Anyone scrolling could instantly grasp the joke. The bedsheet, a mundane household object, recreated high-fashion artistry. It was accessible, shareable, and perfectly timed. The account leveraged these elements masterfully, turning a single post into a multi-platform phenomenon. And then came the inevitable celebrity commentary. While many stars remained silent, a few could not resist entering the conversation, whether to support Meghan, join in the humor, or offer neutral observations. Each mention, each like, each retweet fueled further engagement, creating a feedback loop that amplified reach exponentially. Social media had taken a singular fashion moment and transformed it into a global spectacle, with Meghan Markle, intentionally or not, at its center. But the story didn't stop there. Within hours of the meme gaining traction, Zendaya, one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, entered the scene, though not with a formal statement or a press release. Her involvement was subtle, almost imperceptible at first. Perhaps it was a comment on Instagram, a playful reaction in a story, or a quietly shared laugh in a public forum. Yet the impact was instantaneous. Zendaya, known for her impeccable timing, grace, and media savvy, had the power to redirect the narrative. Her engagement wasn't malicious, but it was undeniably influential, adding a new dimension to a story that was already snowballing across platforms. For Meghan's team, the viral parody presented both challenges and opportunities. On one hand, the attention kept her in the public eye, reinforcing her relevance and global influence. On the other hand, the humor and mockery risked undermining her public image, especially when paired with Zendaya's subtle yet high-profile involvement. Managing the narrative became an urgent task, requiring careful consideration of public statements, social media responses, and behind-the-scenes communications. Every move had potential repercussions. The internet, of course, did not wait. Users began generating their own interpretations, memes, and recreations at a rapid pace. Videos showing exaggerated attempts to mimic the crinkled bedsheet look went viral, some reaching millions of views within a day. Instagram accounts dedicated to fashion parody posted side-by-side comparisons, highlighting both the humor and absurdity of the recreation. The meme had evolved beyond a single post. It had become a cultural moment, reflecting society's fascination with celebrity, style, and satire. Critics noted a fascinating dynamic. While the parody mocked Meghan, it also inadvertently celebrated her influence. Few celebrities inspire such creativity, such rapid engagement, and such widespread discussion. In this sense, the parody underscored Meghan's status as a global figure whose choices reverberate across fashion, media, and popular culture. The very act of parodying her was evidence of her cultural significance, a paradox that only heightened the intrigue surrounding the situation. And then, just when the narrative seemed poised to settle into a familiar pattern, Zendaya's subtle, playful engagement altered the course entirely. Her involvement added credibility, visibility, and a layer of complexity that no one could ignore. Suddenly, the story was no longer just about a viral meme or a controversial outfit. It was about influence, timing, power, and the unpredictable ways in which celebrity interactions can shape cultural conversation. At this point, the world was watching. Fans dissected every interaction, media outlets speculated on motives, and social media users eagerly awaited the next development. What had begun as a single humorous post had evolved into a multi-layered phenomenon, blending fashion critique, celebrity commentary, and viral entertainment. The stage was set for an even more dramatic chapter, a chapter in which the stakes, the humor, and the cultural implications would escalate even further. And the most fascinating part? None of it had been orchestrated. The parody, the memes, the viral engagement, all of it was organic, spontaneous, and unpredictable. In the world of modern celebrity culture, moments like this are rare, yet they wield extraordinary power. The digital landscape transformed a simple outfit into a global conversation, and the addition of a Hollywood superstar's playful involvement ensured that the narrative would continue to evolve in ways no one could have predicted. But what came next would turn a humorous parody into a full-blown spectacle, capturing global attention in a way that neither Meghan nor Zendaya could have anticipated. And it would forever redefine how the public perceives viral moments, celebrity interactions, and the intersection of humor and influence in the digital age. When the internet erupted over Meghan Markle's Paris Fashion Week outfit, few could have predicted who would step into the story next. Celebrities often weigh their words, cautious not to inflame social media storms or inadvertently join controversies that might backfire. But Zendaya, Hollywood's golden girl, an icon of poise, humor, and fearless authenticity, operates on an entirely different wavelength. Her engagement with the viral moment wasn't a formal statement, nor a calculated media stunt. It was playful, subtle, and devastatingly effective, a perfect storm of timing, charisma, and influence. It began with a single gesture, almost imperceptible to the casual observer. Perhaps a lightly worded comment, a short social media post, or even a shared laugh in an interview clip. Whatever it was, the effect was immediate. The internet, always hungry for connection, context, and interpretation, instantly latched onto Zendaya's involvement. Fans began speculating. Was it friendly banter? A critique disguised as humor? Or a deliberate poke at Meghan in response to the viral parody? Within minutes, speculation morphed into trending topics, discussions, and even more memes. This time layering Zendaya's playful intervention atop the original viral content. Zendaya's move exemplified her uncanny ability to navigate public perception with elegance. She is known for her impeccable timing and for balancing humor with grace. In this instance, she didn't need to insult Meghan, nor did she need to overtly criticize. The mere act of engaging with the viral parody, whether through acknowledgement, mimicry, or subtle commentary, was enough to amplify the story, shifting public focus and adding a new dimension to an already explosive cultural moment. The timing of her involvement was crucial. At the height of the meme's viral spread, Zendaya's subtle engagement acted like a catalyst. Social media algorithms favored posts with celebrity interaction, and suddenly, what had been a humorous but contained meme exploded across platforms with renewed intensity. Engagement metrics skyrocketed. Memes were shared, likes multiplied, and followers debated what Zendaya's motives might have been. In the court of public opinion, her involvement added weight, turning a simple parody into a multi-layered cultural conversation. For fans of Zendaya, her move was perceived as a display of wit, intelligence, and humor. Only Zendaya could enter a viral moment without saying a word and still steal the narrative, one fan tweeted. But others, particularly Meghan supporters, bristled at the intervention. Questions arose. Was Zendaya overstepping? Did she understand the scrutiny Meghan faces as a former royal? Could a subtle joke from one Hollywood superstar genuinely affect public perception of another? These questions fueled debate, drawing even more attention to a situation that was already dominating social media discourse. Zendaya's influence lies not just in her star power, but in her ability to communicate subtly. A small gesture, like a playful Instagram story, a quick meme, or even a knowing smile during a public appearance, carries enormous weight because it engages audiences while leaving room for interpretation. In this case, the subtlety was key. The world wasn't certain whether Zendaya's engagement was mischievous, sympathetic, or purely observational. And uncertainty, in the age of digital media, is one of the most powerful drivers of engagement. As the viral conversation swirled, Zendaya's involvement began influencing how different communities reacted. Meme creators incorporated references to her style, humor, and persona, layering her commentary onto the existing parodies. TikTok users recreated the crinkled bedsheet outfit, this time mimicking Zendaya's playful gestures alongside Meghan's ensemble. Fashion commentators debated the significance of Zendaya's engagement, discussing whether it represented a friendly nudge, a strategic commentary, or an assertion of influence in Hollywood's complex social ecosystem. The effect on Meghan's public perception was immediate, albeit nuanced. While some viewers dismissed Zendaya's involvement as lighthearted, others perceived it as a critique layered atop the viral parody. The complexity arose from the combination of visibility, credibility, and relatability. Zendaya is widely admired, with a persona that blends sophistication, humor, and authenticity. Her subtle involvement lent legitimacy to the ongoing jokes, while simultaneously amplifying attention on Meghan's fashion choices. This duality, amplifying a meme while maintaining a charming, harmless facade, is precisely what makes Zendaya's moves so remarkable. Observers quickly noted the social psychology at play. Celebrity interactions, particularly subtle or ambiguous ones, act as signals to the public. When someone like Zendaya engages with a viral moment involving another high-profile figure, it triggers conversations, encourages speculation, and prompts emotional responses. Fans and casual observers alike begin interpreting motives, personality traits, and intentions. In essence, Zendaya's playful involvement became a lens through which the public reevaluated Meghan, the meme, and even the culture surrounding celebrity fashion. But Zendaya's move was not just about media influence. It was also about cultural commentary. Fashion Week, celebrity culture, and viral memes exist at the intersection of artistry, humor, and societal expectation. By engaging with the parody, Zendaya acknowledged the absurdity of the moment while simultaneously highlighting the pressures faced by public figures. The gesture was subtle yet layered. A playful nod to humor, a critique of celebrity scrutiny, and a reminder that even royals and Hollywood icons are subject to the same public gaze. In the days following her engagement, media outlets dissected every potential angle. Was Zendaya defending Meghan, or was she joining the joke? Could she have foreseen the meme's viral trajectory? What did her involvement say about the dynamics of influence in modern celebrity culture? Analysts weighed in on her timing, her platform, and her audience. Meanwhile, social media users produced new memes and videos blending Meghan's outfit, the crinkled bed sheet, parody, and Zendaya's playful gestures, creating layers of humor, irony, and commentary that captivated millions worldwide. It's worth pausing to reflect on the psychological complexity of this moment. Zendaya's intervention illustrates how subtlety and timing can create disproportionate impact. She didn't need to make a bold statement or issue a public critique. Instead, she leveraged nuance, humor, and visibility to influence the narrative in ways that were immediate, measurable, and profoundly effective. In other words, she didn't just participate in the viral moment, she reshaped it. The ripple effects extended beyond social media. Fashion critics began referencing Zendaya's involvement in their analyses, using her engagement as a frame to discuss Meghan's outfit, viral culture, and celebrity humor. Discussions in magazines, online forums, and entertainment shows shifted to consider the role of peer commentary in shaping public perception. Zendaya's playful poke became a case study in the subtle interplay of influence, timing, and cultural relevance. And then came the emotional beat. For Meghan, the viral parody combined with Zendaya's involvement created a multi-layered scenario of public scrutiny, humor, and speculation. The stakes were no longer merely fashion-related. They were personal, social, and cultural. The Duchess faced an intricate balancing act, navigating public perception, responding strategically if necessary, and maintaining poise amidst unprecedented scrutiny. The viral moment had evolved into a test of resilience, image management, and emotional fortitude. As the hours passed, the story continued to unfold. Each social media post, meme, and comment added to the momentum, with Zendaya's subtle involvement serving as a catalyst for conversation and engagement. Memes became more elaborate, combining visual humor with social commentary, and fans dissected every nuance of Zendaya's gesture. The digital ecosystem had transformed a simple fashion moment into a layered, evolving cultural narrative with global reach. And just when it seemed the narrative had stabilized, another twist loomed on the horizon. The public was about to witness reactions, counter-memes, and celebrity commentary that would push the story into unprecedented territory. Zendaya's playful intervention had amplified the moment, but the consequences and the reactions it would provoke were far from over. In the world of celebrity, timing, influence, and subtlety matter more than bold statements. Zendaya had demonstrated this principle masterfully, but the story was only halfway complete. What happened next would not only define the viral moment, but also reshape the dialogue surrounding Meghan, fashion, humor, and the power of celebrity interplay. And what came next would shock even the most attentive social media watchers, because this was no longer just a joke. It had become a cultural event, with layers of meaning, tension, and anticipation that few could have predicted. In the age of instant connectivity, one viral moment can become a global phenomenon in a matter of hours. And when Meghan Markle's Paris Fashion Week outfit collided with the parody crinkled bed sheet, recreation, and Zendaya's subtle, playful involvement, the internet ignited like never before. What began as a single humorous post rapidly evolved into a sprawling, multi-platform frenzy, drawing in millions of eyes, clicks, and opinions. The first sparks appeared within minutes of the parody account's upload. Twitter, the fastest-moving social media platform, became a hive of activity. Users were tagging friends, sharing screenshots, and adding witty commentary that ranged from playful sarcasm to biting critique. Within the first hour, the meme had been retweeted tens of thousands of times, with comments debating everything from the merits of the outfit to the audacity of the parody. Some called it genius, others called it cruel, and nearly everyone agreed it was captivating. Instagram soon followed, with users posting side-by-side comparisons of Meghan's original look and the humorous recreation. Stories with polls asked audiences whether the parody was funny or offensive, generating millions of impressions. TikTok, the modern epicenter of viral creativity, transformed the parody into countless video recreations. Users draped bedsheets around themselves, exaggerated the folds, and mimicked Meghan's iconic poses, all set to trending soundtracks. Each video, shared, liked, and remixed, amplified the meme's reach exponentially. The speed at which the content spread was staggering. In a single afternoon, what began as a small parody post had become a trending topic worldwide. Hashtags like #CrinkledChic, #BedsheetDuchess, and #Meghan memes surged across platforms, each iteration spawning new variations. Memes were no longer static images. They became living, evolving narratives shaped by user creativity, humor, and commentary. Media outlets quickly took notice. Entertainment websites, celebrity news blogs, and even mainstream news organizations began covering the viral moment, framing it both humorously and analytically. Headlines ranged from snarky to playful. Duchess of Sussex inspires new bedroom trend, or royal or rolled-up linen. Meghan Markle's Paris fashion moment goes viral. Each article added legitimacy and visibility, transforming a fleeting social media joke into a global talking point. The role of social media influencers cannot be underestimated in this explosion. Fashion influencers, lifestyle vloggers, and meme creators all contributed to the rapid amplification of the story. Instagram posts with millions of followers recreated the look, TikTok videos were shared widely, and Twitter threads dissected every pleat, fold, and drape of Meghan's ensemble. Each contribution multiplied the meme's visibility, creating a feedback loop in which content inspired more content, and engagement metrics skyrocketed. Fans were divided. Supporters of Meghan Markle defended her choice, emphasizing the artistry of the outfit and her history as a fashion icon. "She is daring, confident, and stylish," one fan tweeted. "Stop turning every choice into mockery." Critics, on the other hand, embraced the humor, sharing memes and commenting on the absurdity of the ensemble. The conversation wasn't limited to fashion. It touched on broader themes of celebrity scrutiny, social media culture, and public perception. Zendaya's involvement further intensified the situation. Her subtle engagement, whether through a playful comment, an Instagram story, or a shared reaction, added legitimacy and attention to the meme. Fans interpreted her involvement in multiple ways. Some saw it as playful camaraderie, others as a pointed commentary, and a few viewed it as an assertive act of cultural influence. Regardless of interpretation, her participation dramatically increased engagement, turning a humorous online moment into a full-blown cultural event. Social media algorithms responded predictably. Content that receives high engagement gets more visibility. Zendaya's involvement, coupled with the original parody, created an explosion of attention that no single user, influencer, or media outlet could have contained. Every like, share, and comment fed into the system, ensuring the meme remained visible across feeds for days, if not weeks. The virality was compounded by the interactivity of the platforms. Users weren't just passive viewers. They became active participants, contributing new memes, videos, commentary, and recreations. Meme's virality also sparked global discussion. International media outlets covered the story, translating the humor, cultural commentary, and fashion critique for audiences worldwide. Social media users from different countries added local flavor, jokes, and recreations, further expanding the meme's reach. Suddenly, what began as a single post had become a worldwide conversation touching on humor, fashion, celebrity, and cultural perception. Beyond the humor, the moment illustrated the extraordinary speed and scale of influence in the digital age. A single image or post, amplified by celebrity attention and algorithmic prioritization, can generate millions of interactions in a matter of hours. Public figures, regardless of status or intent, are often swept into this digital maelstrom, where personal expression, professional decisions, and even subtle gestures are magnified and dissected in real time. The social media explosion also highlighted the paradox of modern celebrity. Meghan Markle, a former royal and global icon, found herself simultaneously celebrated and critiqued in ways that few could anticipate. Zendaya, by contrast, leveraged her influence subtly, demonstrating how celebrity engagement can amplify narratives without overt confrontation. The contrast between these two figures, one reacting to scrutiny, the other shaping it, underscored the complex dynamics of fame in the social media era. Fans, media outlets, and social commentators were now deeply engaged in the narrative. Each new post, meme, or reaction added a layer to the story, creating a cultural moment that transcended fashion. Conversations emerged around the ethics of online mockery, the pressures of public life, and the ways in which humor, influence, and visibility intersect in digital spaces. The discussion was no longer limited to Meghan's outfit or the meme. It had become a lens through which society examined celebrity culture itself. And yet, even as millions engaged with the viral content, the narrative was far from settled. Every day brought new recreations, commentary, and reactions. TikTok challenges, Instagram polls, YouTube reaction videos, and Twitter threads kept the conversation alive, ensuring that the meme remained in public consciousness. Zendaya's involvement continued to be dissected and reinterpreted, providing additional fuel for discussion and engagement. The viral explosion demonstrated the power of timing, relatability, and audience participation. The meme succeeded because it was accessible, humorous, and visually understandable. Zendaya's subtle engagement added credibility and attention. The public's response, driven by humor, curiosity, and social commentary, multiplied the effect. And the media, eager to report on trending topics, solidified the meme's status as a cultural phenomenon. But what made the explosion truly fascinating was the unpredictability. No single actor, neither Meghan, the parody account, nor Zendaya, could have fully anticipated the scale of the reaction. Social media, with its rapid feedback loops and global reach, created a dynamic ecosystem in which content evolves, adapts, and spreads in ways that defy conventional logic. Each like, share, and comment contributed to an ever-expanding web of engagement, making the viral moment self-perpetuating. And just when it seemed the social media frenzy had reached its peak, the next chapter of the story was already unfolding. Insider sources hinted at reactions behind the scenes. Meghan's team monitoring the viral content, strategizing potential responses, and assessing the implications of Zendaya's involvement. Meanwhile, celebrities and influencers observed the moment, weighing their own potential commentary or engagement. The digital ecosystem had become a living, breathing entity, one that could amplify humor, critique, or influence at an unprecedented scale. And what came next would shift the narrative yet again, adding layers of intrigue, emotion, and global attention. The social media explosion was just the beginning, setting the stage for reactions, insights, and interventions that would continue to reshape the story. What happens when the world laughs at you? When a single outfit, a playful parody, and a celebrity's subtle nod become the epicenter of global attention. For Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, the Paris Fashion Week incident was more than a viral moment. It was a complex web of public scrutiny, media frenzy, and personal reflection. Within hours of the meme going viral, speculation began about Meghan's reaction. In public appearances, she remained poised, displaying the calm demeanor she had cultivated over years in the spotlight. A smile here, a measured nod there, and a graceful stride down the red carpet gave little hint of the inner turbulence. But the reality behind the scenes was likely more layered, involving advisors, friends, and PR strategists trying to anticipate the potential fallout. Meghan is no stranger to media scrutiny. From her early acting career to her life as a royal, she has faced relentless public attention. She has navigated praise, criticism, and, at times, outright hostility. The difference here was the blend of humor, ridicule, and celebrity intervention. Zendaya's playful engagement, while lighthearted, added a level of visibility that magnified the situation. The combination of parody and celebrity commentary turned what might have been a minor fashion critique into a multi-layered, globally trending moment. Private sources suggest that Meghan's team began monitoring the viral content immediately. Screenshots were taken, engagement metrics tracked, and sentiment analysis conducted to understand public perception. The goal was not only to gauge reactions, but to plan next steps, whether to respond, ignore, or subtly reclaim the narrative. The challenge was unprecedented. How to manage a meme that was humorous, widely shared, and further amplified by another celebrity's subtle engagement. Emotionally, the situation was undoubtedly complex. Meghan, like any human, likely experienced a mixture of amusement, frustration, and concern. On one hand, humor can be disarming, a way to humanize public figures who are often perceived as distant or untouchable. On the other hand, the combination of ridicule and relentless visibility can be exhausting, particularly for someone who has consistently sought to balance personal privacy with public responsibility. The Duchess's response, or lack thereof, in public forums demonstrated strategic finesse. By maintaining composure, she signaled confidence and resilience. Her calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the chaos unfolding online, reinforcing her poise and grace. Observers noted that choosing not to respond immediately was a calculated approach, allowing the story to unfold organically while minimizing the risk of escalating controversy. Yet, even in private, Meghan had to navigate the emotional weight of the situation. Viral moments are not abstract. They are deeply personal. A meme may seem humorous to the outside world, but for the individual at its center, it can feel invasive, judgmental, or even destabilizing. Meghan's experience exemplifies the tension between public persona and private emotion, a balancing act familiar to any high-profile figure, yet intensified by her royal background and celebrity status. The internet, of course, thrives on interpretation. Users debated what Meghan was feeling, how she might respond, and whether Zendaya's involvement was supportive or antagonistic. Some fans speculated that Meghan would embrace the humor, perhaps acknowledging it with grace and wit. Others feared that even a subtle acknowledgement could amplify criticism or fuel further parody. The speculation itself became a secondary viral phenomenon, keeping attention on Meghan and the meme cycle alive. Her team's strategic considerations likely extended beyond social media. Traditional media outlets, accustomed to celebrity management, would have been consulted to determine whether statements or appearances were advisable. Public perception, reputation management, and the broader implications for her brand all had to be carefully weighed. Every word, gesture, or photograph carried significance, particularly when amplified by global media and online discourse. Meghan's reaction, or intentional restraint, also underscores a broader lesson about celebrity culture. Control is always partial. No matter how meticulously a public figure manages their image, the dynamics of social media, viral humor, and peer commentary often operate beyond direct influence. In this case, Zendaya's playful engagement added an unanticipated layer, demonstrating how even subtle interventions by others can shift public perception in profound ways. Emotionally, Meghan's response required resilience. Public figures often compartmentalize, separating personal feelings from professional responsibilities. Yet the stakes here were uniquely high. A meme, a viral parody, and a celebrity's subtle participation created a moment that was simultaneously humorous, critical, and culturally significant. Navigating that landscape demanded emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and an understanding of the broader implications for her personal and professional life. In some ways, Meghan's response exemplified mastery over modern public scrutiny. By maintaining composure, she allowed the story to evolve without direct interference, demonstrating an understanding of both human psychology and social media dynamics. Her restraint prevented the situation from spiraling further while signaling confidence to the public. The unspoken message was clear: visibility does not equate to vulnerability, and humor, even when directed at her, does not diminish her presence or influence. Observers also noted the indirect power of Meghan's response strategy. By not reacting impulsively, she avoided fueling further engagement that might have exaggerated the meme or escalated social media speculation. This silence, paradoxically, became a statement in itself, a demonstration of control and strategic foresight that many celebrities struggle to achieve in the heat of viral moments. Yet the narrative was far from over. Social media, as unpredictable as it is relentless, continued to evolve. Memes multiplied, TikTok videos recreated the crinkled bedsheet outfit, and Zendaya's subtle involvement remained a talking point. The digital ecosystem had created a feedback loop in which every new post, like, and comment fed the viral cycle, ensuring the story's longevity. Meghan's response, strategic, restrained, and poised, allowed her to navigate this dynamic landscape without losing credibility or composure. The emotional stakes remained high. For Meghan, this moment was a reminder of the delicate balance required in public life. Embracing visibility while protecting personal dignity, engaging with humor while maintaining authority, and managing perception while confronting scrutiny. Each decision, each gesture, each carefully measured smile became part of a broader narrative that extended far beyond the initial outfit or meme. And just when it seemed Meghan had successfully managed the storm, the next twist loomed on the horizon. Insider sources hinted at new layers of interaction, responses from other celebrities, evolving memes, and discussions across media outlets that could further escalate the situation. The viral moment, amplified by Zendaya and fueled by public engagement, was poised to enter a new chapter, one that would challenge assumptions, provoke debate, and redefine the narrative surrounding Meghan, fashion, and viral humor. What came next would force Meghan and the world to confront the unpredictable power of social media, celebrity influence, and public perception in ways that no single tweet, meme, or playful comment could have predicted. In the world of fame, nothing exists in isolation. Every outfit, every word, every gesture is magnified, dissected, and, often, turned into fodder for public amusement. Celebrity culture thrives on a delicate balance of admiration, critique, and mockery. For figures like Meghan Markle, This balance is constantly in motion, where praise can quickly become satire, and attention can be both empowering and punishing. The Paris Fashion Week incident, combined with the crinkled bedsheet, parody, and Zendaya's playful involvement, exemplifies this dynamic perfectly. To understand the intensity of the moment, we must first examine the mechanics of celebrity mockery. Historically, satire and parody have long been tools for critiquing power, wealth, and influence. Court jesters lampooned kings and queens, caricature artists exaggerated features of public figures, and comedians highlighted the absurdities of fame. In the modern digital age, social media has replaced the stage. Tweets, memes, and viral videos are the new platforms for commentary, capable of reaching millions in seconds. The crinkled bedsheet meme is a contemporary manifestation of this long-standing tradition. Humor used as critique, connection, and cultural reflection. The speed and scale of modern mockery are unprecedented. A single post, like the parody of Meghan's outfit, can circulate globally within hours. Algorithms amplify engagement, turning private amusement into public spectacle. When Zendaya, a figure of immense influence, subtly interacts with such a meme, the effect multiplies exponentially. Suddenly, a playful joke becomes a cultural phenomenon, discussed not only by fans but by analysts, media outlets, and influencers worldwide. The stakes are no longer trivial. They impact public perception, personal branding, and even social narratives about style, grace, and celebrity authenticity. Mockery in celebrity culture is complex. It can be playful, like a friendly roast among colleagues, or pointed, serving as critique or social commentary. In Meghan's case, the meme sits somewhere in between. It's humorous, yes, but it also underscores expectations placed upon her as a former royal and a global public figure. The public's fascination with royals and celebrities creates an environment where even subtle deviations from perceived perfection can become magnified, dissected, and transformed into viral content. This dynamic reveals a paradox. The more admired a figure, the more intensely they are scrutinized. Zendaya's involvement further complicates the narrative. As a beloved celebrity known for her wit and intelligence, her engagement acts as both validation and amplification. To some, her subtle gestures are playful, reinforcing the humor. To others, they are perceived as critique, adding a layer of celebrity commentary that intensifies public interest. The mere fact that a figure of Zendaya's stature participated, even indirectly, elevates the moment from a minor online joke to a phenomenon worthy of global discussion. Celebrity mockery often sparks debate about fairness and ethics. On one hand, public figures understand that visibility invites scrutiny, and humor is a natural part of social commentary. On the other hand, relentless ridicule, especially when amplified by viral content and influential personalities, can be emotionally taxing, disproportionately affecting the individual at the center. Meghan's situation illustrates this tension. The meme and Zendaya's playful involvement are harmless to some, but they carry personal and social weight that cannot be ignored. The public's reaction also demonstrates the participatory nature of modern celebrity culture. Fans become co-creators, generating memes, videos, and commentary that shape the narrative. Every tweet, like, and share contributes to a collective conversation that blends humor, critique, and emotional engagement. The audience is no longer passive. They are active participants in constructing meaning, amplifying messages, and defining cultural relevance. The crinkled bedsheet meme, combined with Zendaya's involvement, exemplifies this phenomenon perfectly, creating a feedback loop that keeps the narrative alive and evolving. Historical parallels shed light on the phenomenon. Figures like Princess Diana, Marilyn Monroe, and more recently, Kim Kardashian have faced similar scrutiny. Moments where clothing choices, public appearances, or personal gestures became global talking points. The difference in Meghan's case is the combination of virality, digital amplification, and peer commentary. A single meme, combined with a subtle celebrity nod, can now dominate public discourse, influence perception, and shape cultural narratives with unprecedented speed. Fashion, as an integral element of celebrity identity, becomes a lens for public interpretation. Meghan's outfit, initially intended as bold and artistic, became a symbol for broader conversations: creativity versus conformity, individual expression versus public expectation, and humor versus judgment. The meme distilled these complex dynamics into an instantly understandable joke, allowing global audiences to engage with the cultural conversation in a playful, accessible manner. Zendaya's role highlights another facet of celebrity mockery: influence through subtlety. Unlike overt criticism, subtle engagement allows a celebrity to shape narratives without issuing formal statements. A comment, a shared laugh, or a lighthearted acknowledgement can validate humor, redirect attention, or provoke debate. In Meghan's case, Zendaya's involvement added depth and nuance, ensuring that the parody resonated widely while also framing the cultural conversation in a way that extended beyond fashion alone. The intersection of humor and critique in celebrity culture is instructive. Mockery, when executed cleverly, can provoke reflection, discussion, and even admiration for creativity. However, it also carries risks, particularly when layered atop personal scrutiny and global visibility. Meghan's experience illustrates this duality. The meme and Zendaya's engagement are simultaneously entertaining, critical, and culturally significant, highlighting the complex dynamics that define modern fame. Public discourse reveals broader societal tendencies. Audiences are drawn to moments that combine relatability, humor, and intrigue. The crinkled bed sheet meme, Zendaya's playful involvement, and Meghan's poised response create a narrative that satisfies curiosity, encourages debate, and invites emotional engagement. This interplay between visibility, interpretation, and participation underscores the power of social media as a tool for both amusement and cultural commentary. Celebrity culture thrives on these dynamics. The story of Meghan Markle, the viral parody, and Zendaya's engagement encapsulates the delicate balance between admiration, critique, and humor. It illustrates how individuals navigate public scrutiny, how humor can amplify influence, and how subtle interventions can shape global discourse. The moment becomes not just a joke, but a reflection of cultural expectations, social dynamics, and the intricate dance of modern fame. Yet even as observers analyze the humor, critique, and public response, the narrative continues to unfold. Social media remains an ever-shifting landscape, with new memes, videos, and commentary constantly emerging. Each iteration adds layers of meaning, engagement, and interpretation, ensuring that the cultural conversation remains dynamic and ongoing. The viral moment is no longer static. It is living, evolving, and influencing perceptions across the globe. And just when it seemed the narrative had reached a comfortable rhythm, another twist emerged, one that would challenge assumptions, provoke discussion, and escalate the situation beyond what anyone anticipated.